Yo, what's up, everyone? You're listening to the Daily Unfucking Your CX, where I fix what's broken in customer experience in under 15 minutes. I'm Zack Hamilton, your host, and I'm looking forward to unfucking today. Yo, what's up, everyone? I want to do something a little bit different this morning, today. Instead of talking about theory or frameworks or models, I want to take a real VP of CX job description that I found on LinkedIn, and I'm going to rewrite it live. Now, this is not to attack the company, and quite frankly, I'm not even going to tell you what company that I found it from. What I can tell you is I read 14 VP of CX role descriptions, and they all sounded exactly like this one. So let's get to it. And you might be asking, well, why are you going to do this morning? And part of this is so many CX leaders feel so stuck or burned out in their roles. And they're trying to figure out why. And so ultimately, what I want to do is kind of break it down to share why you're feeling this way, because you weren't set up from the very beginning to be successful in your role. Ultimately, you were set up to be ineffective with the expectations delivered in your job description. And even when you're doing everything that you were trained to do, you still feel like, man, I can't do anything right. And so before we jump into this job description, what I want you to know is it's not bad. It's not like it's a really horrific job description. It's just designed for an experience model that no longer works. And so here's the trap most CX leaders are in today. They're hired to be accountable for, like this job description says, adoption, retention, NPS, expansion, lifetime value, which is great. But they're not given authority over prioritization, budget, trade-offs, or execution decisions. That's not leadership, folks. That's liability. So let's rewrite this role not as experience management 2.0, not as traditional experience management, but as experience performance 3.0. So let me just read you straight from the job description. Quote, responsible for driving adoption, retention, and customer lifetime value. This right here is where most CX roles break. So let's rewrite it. In Experience 3.0, the role isn't responsible for outcomes in isolation. The role exists to turn customer friction into business decisions. So the new mandate becomes this role exists to convert customer behavior into performance trade-offs the business must act on. That's a fundamentally different job. Now, let's go to the next section. I want you to really listen about how subtle and dangerous this next part is. So I'm going to point to responsibilities like voice of customer, providing insights, tracking metrics. So right from the very beginning, this role is positioned as a narrator. And if you listen to executives, if you listen to the challenges that they have with customer experience and experience 2.0, they don't need more narration. What they need is decisions. So let's rewrite this part. In Experience 3.0, CX doesn't bring insights into the room. CX brings, here's the cost of doing nothing. Here's the cost of acting. Which one are we going to choose as an organization? You see, ownership starts when a decision is required. Now, let's kind of move down to the metrics section of the job description. As it states, this role owns NPS, health scores, adoption, retention. But here's the question no one asks. What happens when those metrics move? So let's say, for example, NPS drops. Does that mean the budget automatically moves? Does that mean prioritization changes automatically? Does it even mean execution now accelerates? Usually no. So let's rewrite this. Experience 3.0 doesn't measure sentiment as success. It measures revenue protected, cost removed, risk reduced. Sentiment is the signal, performance is the proof. Now, the job description mentions AI. Of course it does. But it's framed as efficiency and analytics. So again, that's traditional experience management. That's experience 2.0 thinking. If we rewrite this in experience 3.0, AI doesn't just find insights faster. It must accelerate execution after ownership exists. Because I'll come back to it. Autonomy without accountability is just pure chaos. AI doesn't replace decisions. It will amplify those specific decisions. So if I were rewriting this role, it wouldn't say this: deliver slowly insights, deliver slowly quarterly governance, deliver slowly, and I'm putting in slowly because insights and governance, we all know, is slow. What I would write is this role is accountable for designing the decision structure that turns customer friction into business performance, not managing experience, not reporting experience, but performing the business through experience. CX doesn't own execution. CX owns accountability design. That's the shift. And if you think about anything in there, it's nothing about slowly. This is why so. Well, that's it for today's Daily Unfucking. If this made you think, follow the show, share it with someone that's still stuck in 2019 CX. I'll see you tomorrow.